TV is trying to urge the host to start.
To no avail thus far.
So ReminD is a map to the good here, and we are going to see right about now whether Moon can turn this one around. It is map 2, Grubby and Tosspot here, bringing you what could be Moon's last map of the tournament. Do you think it will be?
It's very hard to say. ReminD is traditionally known for his Night Elf versus Night Elf strength, and Moon has traditionally been known for his weakness in that area. So on paper, you would see ReminD taking the match. However, Moon can win the games by intellectual prowess. So usually when we see like a straight up game, identical, where they're both making mass hunts, I see ReminD taking the game. But Moon wins with, for example, suddenly a very unexpected Priestess of the Moon, expansion strat, or mass hunts. And I think he's going to have to rely on his creativity and his experience to try and win this game. And the map now being Twisted Meadows lends itself quite well to that. On the other hand, we might see him having improved in the area of a mirror match and see him kind of do the same thing. He is starting with Ancient of War. That means we can pretty much rule out a Priestess of the Moon here. And it will be very... I think this game will be quite nice because it's a cross map. They're both Ancient of War creeping. There won't be any very early aggression. They'll probably get at least level 2 first before fighting. So I like seeing that. After that, the options are quite open. We could see Druids of the Claw, we could see Dryads, or perhaps we'll see a massive amount of Archers, Ancients of Wars, and Talons.
So from Moon's perspective, still much work to be done. This is the loser bracket match, loser bracket, I guess, semi-final you would call it, or round 3.
This is the loser bracket finals. It's not the last loser bracket match.
Right.
There'll be a consolation finals, but
I always get that word. I always miss that word.
This will be the winner of the losers going up against the loser of the winners. If that makes it any clearer.
With Lin lying in wait, it will be an all-Korean. There will be one Korean guaranteed to be in the grand final at least. And that's being played tomorrow or today?
I believe the grand finals will be played tomorrow.
Okay. We will have...
But with the schedule here being a bit disrupted, it's anybody's guess.
Fortunately, with the holder tomorrow, they will have just 4 matches to play, 2 in each game. So they should be in an all-right position. It's been a great debut tournament for MSI. This has sort of been the first one they've run on their own. A lot of online buzz about it in several games. So Call of Duty and Quake Live tournaments as well beyond there. So a good position from their perspective, and I think they will walk away from this, though disappointed with yesterday, hopefully very happy with their tournament.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen a very positive response here by the fans as they have openly embraced MSI's first tournament here, with hundreds of viewers here in the room, filling up all the available seating and then some in the most heated moments of the day. So I think MSI can't be too unhappy about that with their debut here. We see a deviation being played from the normal style here, with ReminD going again for a Mass Hunter style a little bit earlier than Moon has decided to do so, and Moon is again going for the Tree of Life. So as we know, Moon is a player who likes to get an advantage by having more gold mines than the opponent. There were times where Moon would make like 15 Trees of Life in one game, expanding all over the map, and also on Twisted Meadows. But with just one Archer and not making any more, waiting for a Hunter's Hole, which is now only 50% and no second Ancient of War yet, he's going to be seriously down in units. And he's too afraid to creep this Merc camp with ReminD being that aggressive already. So normally you saw him eating these trees up already. His plan would be to get level 2.9 Demon Hunter from this, get the Troll Berserker and the Troll Priest, and have some nice piercing damage units, which are quite good to counter hunts. But now he's only got one Archer and he's not making any more. And he doesn't know that ReminD has 2 Ancient of War, one here with a forward Moonwell to provide easier healing for units who run back, one more Moonwell here with another Ancient of War with hunts, and a hidden Hunter's Hole there. So he's going to be in for a nasty surprise. He did scout ReminD's main here, so he knows something is seriously wrong. I think we're going to see a reaction very soon. He's already making second Age of War. It could be prudent to make one more Ancient Protector, but at the same time, you don't want to overinvest in static defenses here when that just means that you have even less map control. So he really needs some units. He does decide he needs the 1 AP. He might actually need more than that. I do see it getting cancelled here. He doesn't have enough units to make a cancel by ReminD that costly either. ReminD's still satisfying himself with trading blows with the opposing Demon Hunter, and as soon as he runs away, he'll go for the AP.
Here we go with the one Huntress is going to come in and try and help him out, and there is the destruction, and we will have ReminD taking a bit of damage on that Demon Hunter, and will just pull the battle away from the base and draw Moon away.
Yep, and now ReminD will go back to one of his Moonwells. Luckily, they're not that far away, but one Moonwell won't be enough to fully heal him, so he does need to make a pit stop both here and here on different parts of the map. Just a little bit of mismovement there on the Demon Hunter, not too bad. Went back into the fray, it seemed, for a second, but now going home to heal, choosing to heal first at the Moonwells in his base, because they're furthest away, and he wants to empty them first, and then later, when it's absolutely necessary that he heals faster, he'll use the ones that are closer. Good decision, I think, because he has no real benefit in rushing back in right at this moment already.
Spies the Wisp of Moon in his base and decides it's lived long enough.
Yep, he took down the Wisp. He did detonate on the Demon Hunter, costing him just that little bit of mana. The AP is not quite finished yet. If he moves right in and attacks it, he could bring it close to cancellation, but no, this AP will finish. That really helps, especially as there seems to be no sign or incentive by ReminD to be going for Glaive Throwers, which is the natural enemy of the Ancient Protector on account of outranging them and having a good damage time. So this AP will definitely be worth its money when ReminD would be using Huntresses to attack. So ReminD decides this is not quite the right time to attack, wants to get level 3 Demon Hunter first. Perhaps he'll even expand or tech, and we do see that he's expanding already for quite some time. This is a 70 seconds ago expansion, or perhaps 60. It takes about 100 seconds for the Tree of Life to finish, the fastest expansion in the game. But it will cost some time to walk it towards the natural and to reap the benefits, whereas Moon, he's already finished, and he's making another one of those very useful Ancient Protectors, the best tower in the game, but also by far the most expensive. High damage, even some splash, and 600 life, and with 45 armor.
So here we go, the two armies will walk side by side. Does Moon decide he wants a pop, or is he just going elsewhere?
Moon, the blue player, is just basically testing his limits, seeing what ReminD is doing. Based on how ReminD reacts, he gets more information about the hopes that ReminD is banking on this game. Whether or not he's being chased or goes to his main, or perhaps puts himself in a position to protect the gold mine, can tell Moon a lot about what ReminD is doing. And the fact that ReminD stopped chasing pretty much tells Moon that he's got a plan B. He's not just pushing, and Moon knows there's something to see here, so he's going to be spotting that Tree of Life. Either he just saw it or not, but he doesn't really need to spot it to know that ReminD is expanding here, with the Demon Hunter making a clear indication of going for the expansion, and Moon can sit pretty on the knowledge that he already has his expansion mining. He can tech quite soon. He wants to get one more Wisp out first, and I think after that we'll either see him tech or make a massive amount of units and creep the Merc camp, get all the Mercs, and then attack. So I do think teching could be useful here. He's already mining. He could probably tech and still make units, just a bit slower, and then he has a plan B. ReminD's not that close to teching, I think. He's not in a position to do so. Might prove me wrong, but
here we go.
Going to be pretty interesting to see what happens here. Is any of them eager to fight, or do they find more benefit in still running around? A Demon Hunter is about just as fast as a Huntress. Huntress is a very quick unit in the game. So both of them have boots of speed, and they don't really need to fight if they don't want to. There's only one man who says that you must fight me if I spot you, and that's this little mud golem here. He has a slow ability which will allow ReminD to take down one Huntress at a time.
Fight looks like it's going to take place at the expansion, and Moon is giving everything he's got to that Tree of Life. And now we'll see whether Moon's Demon Hunter is up for the fight as well, though, because he's low on health and being chased all the way around the back. And we'll have to call the TP, and that will allow the expansion to be completed.
Yeah, okay, so I really liked what happened here. This little insignificant little mud golem, this 240 HP bullseye, basically, this big red arrow pointing on him, I'm easy to kill. He has the ability of slow, which I was just discussing, and ReminD didn't have it on autocast. He manually cast it on the Demon Hunter so that he could chase it down and bring it to low life faster, which would force Moon to TP, because ideally Moon would love to kill this expansion and then Town Portal, and he was so close to doing it. He was even trying to do a little bit of Hunter's action there to block the ReminD's Demon Hunter from attacking him, but lovely move there, because I could really see Moon taking down this expansion. If the Demon Hunter had full speed, he would run a few circles around the mine, Town Portal, and with the last few hits he would take down the expansion. But excellent move by ReminD. Nice having that Mud Golem. And ReminD chose to stay on tier 1. He didn't have enough money to go to tier 2 yet. He still had his expansion to worry about. One thing that Moon did succeed in is slowing that down. He killed the Ancient of War here now, nearly the Moonwell, decides to play a bit more safe now and go home. 2 APs will put short work to any kind of intrusive Hunter's attack, but here's the Glaive Thrower, and ReminD will be looking to, with his superior hero level and consumable items, to and HP too. Oh my god.
A lot of damage done to those Huntresses there.
Yeah, he'll be looking to take down his 2 APs with the Glaives, and once they're down, he will attack. And I don't think Moon can win a straight up fight, and that's quite a... Where's the Demon Hunter, by the way? He's not dead for sure. Oh, he just Town Portaled out of here, cancelling AP. He does have 2 heal scrolls, uses one right away, still not full life. Lower level than Demon, no greater healing, no greater invul like ReminD, no protection scroll either. But he does do a bit of a flank, attacking the Glaives. If he can take down the Glaives, that means his static defenses will be that much better. Gotta be a bit careful with his Demon there.
Demon Hunter is low on health. We'll try and retreat to one of those Moonwells, and in fact uses all 3. But the Glaive Throwers look like they could all fall. You got 1.5 health.
Yep, needs a heal scroll very soon. Uses it right there, puts him back to nice life. Moon is up about 10 food. Took down nearly all the Glaives. Another Huntress. He's up more than 10 food now. 57 against 43. Mining fully. ReminD is only mining with 4 Wisp and not for that long yet, and he's getting his 5th one now. Still focusing on defenses, something which Moon covered a long time ago. Both APs died. I didn't see that happen. So those Glaives must have been attacking APs for quite some time, even as the fight was going on. He managed to use the Glaives for what they were set out to do, but lost the fight in the end.
So from ReminD's perspective, he needs a few minutes now to fully get use out of his expansion and rebuild the units he lost.
He needs about 3 more minutes than he'll get.
That will be because Moon's about to come knocking on the door of his expansion any second now. And, well, he is drawn away by the forces of ReminD. That Mud Golem has become a lovable character in this fight.
Yep, ReminD coming from behind. Demon Hunter level 5, higher. Moon just reached level 4. Not a huge difference. Of course, when a hero levels up in Warcraft 3, he gets extra attributes like strength, agility, and intelligence. And that means that a Demon Hunter level 5 has a bit more HP, a bit more damage, a bit faster attack rate than a level 4. But the only other difference is the amount of mana burn. And since they're both burning each other anyway, there's not a huge difference in mana burn level 3 or 2. Obviously 3 is better, but it's not going to be like super conclusive. I think the attributes are more important, more damage and so on. And of course, you're on your way to level 6, which creates a superhero.
Like Robocop.
Like Robocop, which we were talking about earlier.
And we have ReminD in a lot of trouble now. He's lost a lot of units, and the assault does not seem to be ending from Moon as he continues to push along. ReminD, though, to his credit, still has... he's going to lose his Demon Hunter here as it is surrounded. Will have to TP out, and he's got about, what, 6, 7...
6, 7 Huntress. His staffs have teleported out there. If he gets surrounded again, that means the end of him. No, he has a great invul. He nearly got surrounded. Got surrounded. Yes, he got surrounded. Excellent move by Moon. Caught that slippery little eel with a greater invul, which takes 12 seconds. So he's moving out his Demon Hunter, basically opening up the way for the ReminD's Demon Hunter to escape.
But this will be the fight.
This is the fight, and Moon is at 70 food. Did not tech, made mass Huntresses, got 1-1 upgrades. ReminD has only 1-0, another small little advantage. Well, medium small for Moon. Getting level 5 now. And there's really no advantage left for ReminD in this game, apart from the fact that he has 1,000 gold. But that would really only be useful if he had like 3 Chimera Roos right now, which he doesn't, as he's tier 1.
So here we go. ReminD giving it all he's got, but it looks like it's going to go to 1-1.
Yep, I'm very happy about us being able to see another game. 3 mappers are the best. And the last game, I'm very curious to see how they will play. So far, ReminD has done double hunts from 2 Ancient of War twice with varying success. In one game, Moon's early expansion cost him the game because it was resources he could not afford to lose. In this game, I think it definitely won him the game. The early expansion gave him an economical lead. ReminD could not benefit from the loss of money that Moon had from that early enough, as it was cross map, and Moon did a rather unexpected good defense because he just had the 1 archer, but he felt confident that given the cross map positions, he had enough time to get an AP up and hunts. He played it very, very cool, and I like to see how calmly he dealt with that. At one point, ReminD had about 5-6 Huntresses against like 1 or 2 units, and perhaps ReminD failed a little bit in the scouting department because Moon had the expansion there. The AP was at home, the Ancient Protector defending Moon's base, but had ReminD gone for the Tree of Life, I think there's very little that Moon could have done to stop that at least. It wouldn't be end of game, but it would definitely be a better result than which ReminD booked right now with his unit advantage in the start.
ReminD playing this one out, doesn't want to give up, but as you saw, there's another Tree of Life coming for Moon, who's going to expand again.
Yeah, pretty nice. He's at 70 food. He has, he's also teching now, so that's his plan B. But at the same time, he has so much money that he feels that getting another expansion is the proper response to make right now to the situation in the game to further increase his lead. And there's no safer moment to expand than when you already have a comfortable lead.
So, 1-1, delicately poised it would appear. And we're left in this position of, again, both games not really knowing who's going to take it.
Yep, we still have to see what the last map will be. At the same time, I don't want to 100% call this game yet, as I think we'll look foolish if this becomes a turnaround for ReminD. It will definitely be one of the most talked about games of the year. But such things have definitely happened before. It looks like Moon is trying to surround ReminD. I actually had to surround a couple of times, but he has no idea that this Demon Hunter is running with him. And in fact, they're both invisible. Trying to pose as a Blade Masters here. 2 invisible Demon Hunters trying to get the one up on each other. Trying to get that first burn on the opponent. This is something they're doing on account of Moon already being Demon Hunter level 6. He's going to use Metamorphosis, which is like totally going to destroy ReminD. And ideally what ReminD would want to do is to mana burn him before he does so, but no chance when he's invisible. He does burn him right away after to state his intentions, but the Demon Hunter is already in epic form. So now we have a Demon Hunter. He gets a free Greater Healing Potion, plus 500 life. He doesn't need to give that up when he morphs back to normal Demon Hunter either. So basically it's an instant Greater Healing Potion. Also increases his HP, his healing points capacity by 500, and he gets a ranged attack, which is chaos damage, so it ignores all armor and armor types, and it's splash damage. And the splash area is about the size of a big watermelon. I mean,
epic will be about the right word for it.
Very epic. And we see ReminD's army can't stand that long.
All on red or orange health, and look like they're about to be swashbuckled away here.
There's really nothing left to do than run when big green fiery balls are being shot at you by a crazed demon hunter.
Has that happened to you on the streets at any time?
Not much.
No?
And I dread the day that it would.
I think if any country it's going to happen, it could be in Holland.
In Amsterdam of all cities then probably. I wouldn't be surprised. So ReminD doing a little bit of base defense here. Doesn't know quite what he's up against yet. Tech already finished. Expansion finished. ReminD still has a Demon Hunter level 5. As long as the demon is alive, some players feel there's no need to quit. If he reached level 6, he could do great things. But
he
I'm
has
afraid
a problem that his opponent's at level 6 as well.
exactly. So he's taking down this Tree of Life. Lots of money for Moon. Sometimes what Moon does when he's in a big lead is go to tier 3 and get like 10 Chimera Roos and 20 Chimeras just to show the gap in between the two players. Don't think he'll do that in this match. He's not quite sure enough yet that he's got the game. He doesn't have wisps everywhere. He is scouting with Priest, so he wants to make sure that he's really ahead, as he feels he probably is. He wants to make sure that ReminD doesn't have some expansion or secret lair with 3 Ancient of Lores pumping Dryads. And once he knows that for sure, he can choose whether he's going to humiliate ReminD or just finish him off.
Well, ReminD won't give up. We've learned that in the past few minutes. Despite the fact his expansion is about to be desecrated. There's nowhere to go.
We see some counter stepper action here as ReminD is possibly looking for elimination, which he feels might be his only chance. Taking down one Moonwell there with Sapper. 2 more. A little bit of overkill, but he was going to die if he didn't do that.
Oh, right on his head drops Moon. And
he could conceivably put all his units in the Zeppelin and there'd be no unit to attack air.
oh, he could lose his Demon Hunter as well, though, down to 54 points of health.
2 hits is all it takes, or 1 burn. Lol.
And there is the good game. Took a while, but we have ourselves a tie game.
Great.
And Moon is going to take us to map number 3. And what we'll do is we'll take a quick break here on Quad V with Grubby and Toss, but when we come back, we will bring you the conclusion of this and see who will face Lin in the Consolation Final tomorrow. We'll be right back.